When the roots of your hair grow, you immediately straighten them with hair relaxer because they are undesirable. After transitioning to natural hair, you struggle for a short period of time with feeling beautiful. Everyone around you has relaxed hair, is wearing a weave or is wearing a wig, and they are what is deemed beautiful. You, on the other hand, you're constantly told to straighten your hair because natural hair is unprofessional. It's difficult to manage and it's just a show of poverty. Information on how to care for your natural hair is not readily available, so even after years, you still learn of new ways to care for your hair. Join me in this journey of discovery. Let's untangle the roots of our hair culture together. This is Moriri. Okay, Kinalime Patricia and was sitting in Mpo's closet, where behind her I see a lot of weaves that resemble the straight Caucasian hair.
Basically this is what's trending and this is what's selling. So basically that's why
Why do you think it's a trend over the afro?
I think most of the people, our customers, Botswana. So basically, they have their own kind of afro hair. I get so the afro hair, in my own knowledge, for most people, is not the in thing. So basically, to get the in thing is to get the weave.
What do you feel about the afro? Do you think it's professional for work or for all events?
It can be professional if retouched, but the afro that we're keeping unretouched, there are times where it fits and there are professions where it doesn't fit.
Why do you say it fits in some professions, and where are these professions
Honestly, as for her, it's for a certain attire and a certain profession. It doesn't suit in a certain profession. And then afro for certain professions, body CEOs and whatever, it doesn't do.
Mo tafoleng ya go kwana gore ke ka bontsi ke se di tlhamaletseng ya afro e one gore ke a thata in between ya afro le e tlhamaletseng
go rekiwa yone e tlhamaletseng thata
wa ke ne gore ke ba rata e tlhamaletseng
ba batla go dira di style ka mokgwa ba ratang ka teng
ya afro yone ke eng sa rate thata
hey o se re banana ba rata dio tseng ke tindi e re ba ishape ba riana le go ba tshwanela
a ke re tse bogologolo mmine ro ke metse ke makgowa
emma
a ke ne re gona le influence ya gore re rata dilo tse di tshwanang le tsa bonetse
tota ba di rata re di rata tota ke le mongwe wa pone emma
yana ha motho a ka re ka gore rata dilo tse tsa makgowa ha ra ikamogela o ka dumelana le ena gore
nya nka se ke dumalane
ke mo sa dumelane
ka gore tota re banana re tshwanetse go ikgotswatsa ka mokgwa re ratang ka teng.
Why do you wear weaves?
I wear weaves because they're part of my personality, they're part of my job, they're part of how I feel, they're part of the occasion, they're part of the trend.
So what would you say to people who would say you might have a form of self-hate because you wear a wig or a weave that resembles our colonial masters?
I mean, we've had conversations with people that I know about, self-hate and whatnot. But I don't look at it as self-hate. I mean, self-hate would be not looking presentable. I'm not saying if I have natural hair, I'm not presentable. Trust me, I have days where I rock my natural hair. And I don't think that I hate myself, but most of the time when I'm wearing, and I won't lie to you, when I'm rocking my natural hair, the confidence that I have as opposed to when I'm wearing like my weave or my wig is much good height one.
Yeah,
And maybe the self-hate probably would come in with how I feel about my body rather than my face.
Nelo, would you say you're a natural hair enthusiast?
Yes, I would say that because I believe that a black woman without a kink is like a leopard without its spots.
When did you start believing that?
I think from an early age, but then when you are young, you don't have a choice of what you do with yourself, with your body, more especially because o tlhokomelwa ke batsadi. But I believe from a young age, ke ntse ke rata natural hair. I grew up ke sa relax. I think from standard 1 up until standard 7. And then my sister felt like it was too much work to be doing my hair every night, you know, combing it, and then I started relaxing.
Normally, guardians relax the children's hair. How come you were not relaxed as a young kid?
Well, I grew up with my mom until I was 7 years old. I think she taught me to take natural hair because natural hair. She was this vintage. She was that kind of person. But then my sister moved. That's when things started changing. So I learned from my mom basically.
So how is it how I very wiki? O feel gore o montle thata ile.
Emma ha ke ya perwiki
Ke gone o feel gore tota go la ke montle
ke gateletse
o sa lo relax o le monnye.
nya tota a ka roi sore bogologolo ne ile go sokolanyana mo batlating ya no ne go sna gore re ka re ne re loga tsone di kgobenyana tse mme madi nna dintle ka ne gona le nenyane ngwana e bitswa dai ba dai ya mona go nna go ntlanyane yana
So me le lo sna go bona maidi a bo bona gore ke relax ke tle ke ne montle.
hey dali madi kana dira dilo a ba ntsenya mo tlhabologong e rileng
So tota di khobetse gore ka re ke tsa batho ba 6 ba le maidi sentle.
nya dali go tswahela gore o ratang
batho ba bomme ke batho ba ba ratang bonte a bone so ba feel gore if ba le mo this wave di ba lebega bonte thata than ba le mo the natural hair over
ya no gore go ka mantswe a mangwe weaving tle thata gona le moruo o natural wa bone o ba tsholang ka ona.
For me I would say it depends. Gona le bomme ba ileng gore tota ba tlhokana le bibi gore a ipaka ye too. And there are other women ba ileng gore no naturally o montle ka boene a o khathile kana o tlogetse o godile o montle but some others hey wa khona go bona gore o tlhoka le go upgrade anyana gore go nne botoka le go heta yeah.
Ya no ha re tsena mo khanyeng ya mo officing gona le batho ba ba feelang gore natural hair one professional o professional ko ne ba weave o no le lona la akanyang ka khanyate.
No, that one is wrong. As long as Moriri ona le Moriri natural but o tlhokomela o le skono o tlhapiswa sentle it looks good. Yeah, go gonna go ntlenyane but ha o sa o tlhokomele that is go tswana hela le yone weave gona le ba ileng gore o e rwala for a very long time khantele na sticky and all that then ha go lebege sentle still that it's just about how we tlhokomelang ka teng yeah.
So how le ba yana mo station wa bona re bomme ba almost botle hela ba ro le di week la kanyang ka khanyeo.
Ana ke akanya re ba inyatsa
Ba
inyatsa ke
ke ngwa ke na gore ba inyatsa
why ba o tshwanetse go connecta moriri o tswang go selene bana le moriri a bone instant for motho gore a go dise moriri wa ga o nyatsa mo moriri wa ga
ba ke no le nyatsa le tswa ka hela sentle
lenyatsa
le ke ba na le nyatsa ba rola dibitse ba na le
go le ba dio tsa mahatshase
wena ba wa kene o ba bona ba re dibitse yana
ana ke akanya gore go re meriri a bona go le sentle ka ba ba tangati
so ha bona ngwanyana na le moriri natural hela wa kenya nke
ke akanya re ke ne o ka nna mosadi to
ke eng le mosadi tota o moriri natural
because ga le tele dio tse di fane o batla go itsaka tshotse le ngwana Motswana jaaka re tletse gore Motswana ke motho o ntseng jang o moriri o tshwantse gore o go le jang.
We are seeing a trend that has been here for I think a long time where we see that our women tend to gravitate more towards the weave more than their natural hair. From your own perspective, why do you think that is the case?
The issue of hair, of kinky hair, I think for most of us in Africa, with kinky hair, we ultimately find ourselves having to look at that situation within the context of our colonial past. Because if you cast your mind back, during the time of the colonial period, we as African peoples were really looked down upon. because of our differences from our Caucasian brothers and sisters. Our color is different and our hair is kinky. Now, this to some extent became some kind of what should I say? Some people perceived it as an indication of how inferior rather than how different we were from our Caucasian brothers and sisters. So your color, black, became something that you perceive as negative insofar as your being is concerned. The fact that your hair is kinky, you looked at it as a manifestation of your inferiority to the other. That was a perception that was based on the kind of ideology that colonialism was trying to impose on us, to look at ourselves as inferior, to perceive our cultures as inferior, as barbaric. So that is really the kind of ideology, to a great extent, that colonialism kind of wanted us to believe.
Could you please explain the psychological effects of slavery or white oppression of black people by the white man in relation to self-identity or group identity as a people?
Well, I believe the totality of the impact of slavery on black people generally is that the black man has been taught, as it were, to hate himself. He has been taught to look down upon himself. He has been taught to look down upon everything that is African, everything that is black. Actually, black has come to be identified with ugliness, that black is ugly, therefore, for someone to appear, for someone to be said to be beautiful, they have to be light in complexion. The darker they are, the uglier they are, and, the more stupid they are compared to those of fairer complexion, if I were to put it so.
There's a common phrase amongst black women that was gotten from an American singer that says, "I am not my hair, I'm the soul that's within." So would you agree that hair is a separate entity from somebody's identity, meaning that how somebody chooses to wear their hair has nothing to do with their identity and beliefs?
Well, I believe that, that's a way of trying to escape from the reality. The reality is that, a human being is the totality of what, they are, inside out, whether you talk of their spirit, of their soul, of their body. So when someone now tries to say, no, I am not this, but it is part of, him or her, they are just trying to escape from the reality that they are slaves mentally. And that, they've been taught, as it were, like I said, to hate themselves.
Do you ever wear Afro wigs?
Oh, wow. I've never worn an Afro wig.
Because you've never felt it's a form of your self-expression?
Let me tell you why I've never worn an Afro wig. I have beautiful hair. Like, I have this beautiful hair that when it's little, it becomes a little curly. I don't know in what line of family we have like curly hair, but I know in my family we have like curly hair.
Curly as in softer, not
no,
so...
No, not even soft. It's rough. But a curly. Not like a colored hair would be like curly and soft.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rough and curly. So I relax it because, the curliness goes away, and then I have to relax it. But I love it because when it's a little longer, I can rock a little, afro, which I don't have to fake per se, as opposed to like wearing a wig. So, but I would never wear, I never say never, but I don't like Afro wigs because as much as weaves and wigs look unnatural. An Afro wig is a pretty obviously not, you know, it looks fake.
But we all know black hair doesn't grow like that
It
from
does
the hair,
not.
so we all know it's fake.
Yeah.
So isn't an Afro wig a way of expanding what you have, more of a celebration of what you have?
Nah, I don't think that wearing an Afro wig is like you expanding or appreciating your hair even further. You know, women are gonna hate me for saying this, but I think it's pathetic.
Why do you think so?
I think it's pathetic because, you know, you have your own natural hair. It's like white people wearing a black face. Why are you wearing an Afro hair when your hair is naturally Afro? The point of wearing a wig is getting a result of something that you don't have, you know. So if I wear a straight weave, I'm aiming to have straight hair. Underline. So like people who wear an Afro wig. So sorry to all the ladies who do, but I just don't agree with it.
So let's say you're going to a red carpet event.
Yeah.
You're given a Peruvian weave or an Afro wig. Which one would you choose?
If I'm going on a red carpet event, I'm obviously taking the wig, the Peruvian.
Why would you choose the Peruvian wig over an Afro wig?
We sorry. Like I said earlier, it's the event. But it's okay. I'm not shooting myself here because I don't want people to come out here and try to look for me. You know, I'm not going to choose an Afro unless if the occasion permits me to wear an Afro. You know, when I like some red carpet events that have like cultural stuff, I wouldn't say this is my culture. I wouldn't be so confident enough to go and wear a weave on a traditional dress. I would probably cover it just to you know, color it. But hella, I don't think I would say that having a weave is more classier. Because trust me, there's some beautiful black queens out there who can rock, you know. Like straightforward, but
the 50s and 60s during the colonial period, there was a corresponding phenomenon to the skin lightening creams that was done on the hair. People used to take, for instance, stones, right? A very smooth, rounded stone. And they would heat the stone, right? Place it on fire, heat the stone, and then they would apply some, you know, I think some, is it oil or some whatever cream on their kinky hair. After applying that, then you take the heated stone and you run it across your hair, and that stone would straighten the hair. Would straighten the hair such that you just run your comb and it's no longer kinky. Now, what was the objective? The objective was again to make your hair straight.
Yes.
Right. Because you associated that kinky hair with Africanness, with backwardness, with barbarism. Now you wanted your hair to be like the Europeans. So it's in the mind. It's, in my opinion, some kind of a mental bondage that, you know, you are mentally imprisoned into believing that how you are, how you have been born naturally is not good enough. And so you want to be somebody else because somebody has told you that they are better than you are or that you are inferior to them.
What does the word black in reference to a people mean to you? Is it just a skin color, or is it the culture behind the person that can be said makes them black?
Well, in my view, black is everything that makes them to be black. You know, black, you know, African music, African, you know, culture, African arts, you know, and all these things, you know, come together and they make up, you know, a people, you know, the way the people live, the material, you know, culture of a people, you know, the ideas of a people, the religions, you know, the technologies of a people and such. It is all these things, you know, that come to define, you know, someone as, whether, you know, they are African or, you know, I prefer African, you know, because you see these terms, you know, are also confusing because you say someone is black and the other one defines themselves as white. You go to the dictionary, you look at the meanings of those two words, you'd find out that, you know, indeed, you know, you go to black, you know, it's ugly, you know, gloomy, the symbol of death and such. And you go to white, you know, pure as milk, you know, and such. And I've never seen a white person, basically. I've seen pink people who call themselves white, you know.
Trends that are run as the professional, most of them being urbanized, we link it to the European, the Americans and stuff. Okay, that's true. But then as for Moriri, I guess with us looking unto those people as to say that's what being professional is, beauty is. Define how we get to define beauty on our side. But I don't think your natural hair is not beautiful or high beauty in it. But the beauty, I think, it's limited in terms of profession. You would expect me to drive school. And then when I a certain car you expect me to drive CEO. And then once maybe there's a certain car people would actually admit even the hairstyles.
What type of hair pieces do you do, Memor?
100% Brazilian, Peruvian, depending on what your preference is.
Do you wear hair pieces yourself? Why not?
I'm not a fan.
Why aren't you a fan?
It's hot, disturbing, plus it's artificial, so I'm not a fan of artificial hair.
So is that your own hair right now?
Underneath.
Isn't that artificial?
It's different.
Warana, have you always had natural hair?
I haven't always had natural hair. I had relaxed hair from a very young age. And then when I grew up, I decided, you know what, no, I'm tired with that, so I'm going to go the natural hair route.
Why do you think you wanted to transition? Why are you so tired of relaxed hair?
Because I felt relaxers were scorching my scalp and the smell wasn't really appealing to me. So I thought I'm more comfortable in my natural hair than the relaxed hair.
Okay, and how did you learn how to take care of your natural hair?
I learned on my own, looking at my hair texture, how it works, which combs to use, which products to use. So that's how I learned how to actually take care of my hair.
And do you ever wear weaves and wigs?
I'm comfortable in anything really. I don't discriminate wigs or weaves or anything.
Would you say there's a link between our colonial past and the weave trend?
I think, yeah, there's a relationship because you'd find that back then we used to relax our hair from our parents. We grew up, we didn't have a choice really. They relaxed us and we had to go through that path. So it's only now that we are appreciating our natural hair and actually going through that route. Yeah.
So weaves and wigs are more popular. Why did you choose to become a natural hairstylist?
I noticed a gap in the market that women are actually coming out to keeping natural hair. So I thought, you know what, who is going to assist these women, hey? Who is going to assist these women style their hair? Because the normal thing or the norm is that natural hair is not neat, it's not manageable. The only thing that people do is the bun. So let me bring something creative and nice, which can appeal to the corporate world and to the creative industry.
And all these creative styles, did you learn them as you turned natural, or have you instinctively always felt when you can be a stylist?
Okay, for now,
I started with my hair, styled it, it appealed to people, they liked it. So I thought, you know what, why not just take this up as something that I want to do? But then when I backtrack, I noticed that, you know what, okay, fine, I've been doing this actually from a young age. I've been styling the people around me. I was like, oh, okay, no, it didn't start here. It actually started back then.
Okay, so a lot of salons tend to overcharge people with natural hair with the reason that the hair is difficult. Do you do the same with your prices?
With the prices in the market, I didn't understand it until I got into the market. The reason why maybe they seem overpriced is because the effort that you put in styling the natural hair, it requires more effort, and the products that are used on natural hair are actually more expensive. So that's why maybe there are different price ranges for natural hair and relaxed hair.
Okay, and we have only one natural hair salon in Botswana. Why do you think that's the case?
I think that's the case because it's only now that women are embracing their natural hair. So there are still few key players in the market. I think with time going on, we're going to see more people coming into the market to actually do maybe the same thing. Yeah.
Okay, so give me 2 words to describe your natural hair.
Natural hair. Natural hair is beautiful. It's amazing. You define your standards. No one dictates how you look. You dictate how you look.
And do you have any stereotypes you could give to somebody with natural hair? If you see somebody with natural hair, what are the thoughts that come to mind about that person?
When I see someone with natural hair, I see confidence to say that this person is saying, you know what, I have my standards of how I want to look. Yeah.
So did your parents ever teach you about taking care of your natural hair before you relaxed it?
No, my parents have never taught me anything about my natural hair. We've never had that conversation because it was never important. Yeah, but now I see how important it is to have that conversation.
Is your hair relaxed underneath the weave?
My hair is currently relaxed under my weave.
When did you first relax your hair?
I started relaxing my hair as long as I've been a child to my adulthood. But there was a point in my life where I stopped relaxing it because I used to burn a lot because the chemicals burned. Yeah.
One of the main ingredients in a hair relaxer is sodium hydroxide. Could you please tell us some of the uses of this chemical outside of relaxing hair?
Sodium hydroxide is used in many other different ways. It's used as in preparation of detergents, in preparation of medicines. It can also be used to clean drains. It is also used in chlorination of water.
When dealing with this chemical, is it highly recommended that one wear protective clothing?
Yes, one is recommended to wear protective clothing because it is really corrosive. When it also reacts with water, it can cause burns.
A lot of black women put sodium hydroxide on the roots of their hair, directly on the scalp. Please tell us from a health standpoint what this does to the skin.
Basically, as a relaxer, the sodium hydroxide is used to modify part of the hair cortex to break the disulfide bonds to make the hair straighter. So that's its role as a relaxer. But it has other side effects in that it causes irritation to the skin, and on long term it can actually also cause lack of hair growth. It can cause alopecia.